Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Nahmaduhu wa nasalli ala rasulihil kareem. So now we're discussing the Ism al-Ma'mul and Ma'mul bil-Asala. And we already discussed Ma'mul bil-Asala and Ma'mul bil-Taba'iyya in As-Sughra. So if you go back to As-Sughra, you remember in here we discussed the Ma'mul section. We had Al-Ism al-Ma'mul bil-Asala. And we explained it there briefly what Asala means. Asala means directly. So we have Ma'mul, we have Muqaddima, the Ism, Fa'il, the Jumla and the Shibul Jumla. And then we have here the Ma'mul and Ghair Ma'mul. Then the Ism Ma'mul. So we have the Ism Ma'mul discussing with. So the Ism can either Ma'mul bil Asala, really mean directly. The Amil governs it directly. And Ma'mul bil Taba'iyya means that the Ma'mul is governing it via the Tabi'. So for example, we have the Tawabi in the Sughra. So the Na, the Atf, etc. So it follows the I'rab of the previous one. So Ma'mul bil Asala, we've done that already. So Ma'mul bil Asala is directly. And Ma'mul bil Taba'iyya via the Tabi', via Matbu'. So when you have Ma'mul bil Asala, it's Marfuu', Mansoob, or Majroor. And Ma'mul bil Taba'iyya, we'll discuss that later on. Okay? Everybody following me? Yes? So Al-Bab al-Awwal fil Ismi. The first chapter is regarding the Ism. We can what we say here. Al-Ism al-Ma'mul. The Ma'mul Ism. Yes? Now. وَفِيهِ مُقَدِّمَةٌ وَفَصْلًا. There's two muqaddimah and a fasl. So regarding the Ism, we said Al-Qism al-Awwal Al-Ism al-Sarih. So before we discuss the I'rab of Ism, let's understand that there are two types of Ism. One is the Ism al-Sarih and one is the Ism al-Mu'awwal. The Ism al-Sarih is again, you don't have to translate these terms, but just know the name of the term. So Al-Ism al-Sarih is an Ismu wahdahu, the noun by itself. When you have that noun by itself, that becomes what? Ism al-Sarih. Like for example, Sawm. So the word Sawm has alif lam. This is a noun on its own. Now how do you understand this? We look at the second Qism. Al-Qism al-Thani, Al-Ism al-Mu'awwal. What's Ism al-Mu'awwal? وَهُوَ حَرْفُ مَصْدَرٍ مَعَ الْجُمْلَةِ بَعْدَهَا. So this, if you look at this structure we have here, we have an is a harfu masdar. After you have a jumla. So this is on its own, this is a harf, this is a fa'il, the waw is a fa'il. Yes, it's a harf, a fa'il and another ism. But together, when you put the ismul ma'awwal, when you put the harf masdar and the fa'il after it, coming together, when you put them together, it becomes what? An ismul ma'awwal. It's considered to be one noun and it takes one slot. So we have the ismul sarih is as-sawmu, the fast. And anta sumu, this becomes the ismul ma'awwal. On its own is a harf, a verb and a fa'il. But collectively, when you merge it together, then it's treated as a noun. That's called an ismul ma'awwal. Do you understand what an ismul ma'awwal is? Everyone following? Okay. Now what are the ma'mul from the ism? So now we know that there are two types of ism, ma'awwal and sarih. Let's go on to the ism ma'mul now. وَهُوَ نَوْعَانِ مَعْمُولٌ بِالْأَصَالَةِ. So directly they govern. وَهُوَ مَا يَعْمَلُ فِيهِ الْآمِلُ بِلَا وَاسِطَةٍ. A ma'mul bil-asala is that. وَهُوَ, how do you translate? It's very important to get translation correct. وَهُوَ, the ma'mul bil-asala is that. Yes, when you have the mawsul sila, you look for the pronoun in a sila that refers back to the mawsul and you merge them together. وَهُوَ مَا فِيهِ. So you merge the ma with the fihi. So the ma'mul bil-asala, right here, is that. And because it has a fi before it, you say that in which. Then you translate it as a verb. You translate the fa'il first, then you translate the verb, then the rest. So is that in which the amil governs. It is that in which the amil governs, bila wasita, without any intermediary. I can't spell intermediary properly, but that should do the job. Intermediary. Are you following? So وَهُوَ مَا يَعْمَلُ فِيهِ الْعَامِلُ بِلَا وَاسِطَةٍ. Yes? It is that in which the amil, governs without any intermediary. How do you translate this? We put the mubtada, then the khabar, then we merge the ma with the translation, and we added the fi before it, then we translated the fa'il, the fa'il, and then the rest of the parts. So an ism al-ma'mul bil-asala is that in which the amil governs without any intermediary. Do you understand? فهمت؟ Okay. وهو ثلاثة أقسام. The معمول بالأصالة are three types. المرفوع, المنصوب, and المجرور. And all of this came in the Sughra already. You have the whole list here. We had the list marfu, we have the 8 marfu, the 12 mansub, and the 2 majroor. Correct? Are you following? Okay. وهو ثمانية. There are 8 marfu nouns. What are the 8 marfu nouns? Number 1, al-fa'ilu. Okay, so we are doing this in Sughra, but we're doing it here now in Wusta. We're going to add a few more rules, and we're also going to define the fa'il. Now again, this is one definition. The other definitions as well, each definition has its pros and cons. It has one con. But for now, just get a rough idea. Don't get too technical for now. So wahu, again, same structure. We have the mubtada followed by the khabar. Correct? We translate the mubtada, it is that. Then we have the ma mawsula. What do? We translate the ma mawsula, look for the pronoun in the sila that refers back to the ma mawsula, and you merge it together. So wahuwa, it is that. And ilayhi, so you say here the fa'il is that. Then how do you write translation? Ilayhi, how do you do it? To which. Then we say here now what's so nasiba is na'ib al-fa'il, it's fa'il majhul, sorry. Then al-fa'lu tamil tamul ma'lum fa'iluhu, this is ma'tuf alayh, and this is ma'tuf, and then these become what? Both of these become what? The na'ib al-fa'il of what? Become na'ib al-fa'il of what? Nusiba. You following? So the fa'il is that to which a fa'il tam. This is a fa'il tam. What does fa'il tam mean? It's not fa'il naqis that we've done in the amil section. Okay? Is that towards which a fa'il tam? Al-ma'lumu fa'iluhu. How do you translate al-ma'lumu fa'iluhu? Al-ma'lum is, so this is al-fa'il tam. This is not number 1. This is not number 2. Correct? So in fa'il tam. And also al-fa'il al-ma'lumu fa'iluhu. Now al-ma'lum, what sigha is al-ma'lum? What sigha is al-ma'lum? اسم المفعول. And اسم المفعول is an عامل or غير عامل? It's an اسم مفعول. So then مفعول فاعله becomes what? The نائب الفاعل of the, it becomes the نائب الفاعل of this. المعلوم فاعله. أي أليم فاعله basically. So the fa'il is that to which a fa'lu tam, and we translate this at-tam as alladhi. Fa'lu tam whose fa'il is known. Yes? And because we have an aw here, the particle aw. So we can translate, we can add in the word here what? To which either or. So we can add in the aw. So is the fa'il is that to which either a fa'lu tam whose fa'il is known, or, and we can say or something, or we can say some noun or a noun, if you want to do something or a noun, which B means in, ma bi ma'nahu, that which is in the meaning. This who refers to what? Al-fa'lu tammu al-ma'lumu fa'iluhu. That who's the meaning refers back to the fa'lu tammu ma'lumu fa'iluhu. Or something or a noun. The fa'il is that to which either a fa'lu tam whose fa'il is known, or something which is in the meaning, or something is in the meaning of al-fa'lu tammu al-ma'lumu fa'iluhu. Then we put we translate the nusiba now. The fa'il majhul is attributed. And not get all scared. All it is basically is so basically if I had nusib, if I said for example, sumi al Quran, the Quran was heard. So all we did was we translated na'ib al-fa'il first, then the verb. So even in here, we translated what first? We translated the na'ib al-fa'il, we translated the fa'il, this is na'ib al-fa'il. We translated that first, then we translated the fa'il majhul. But obviously na'ib al-fa'il is made up of a long structure. So when you translate, you have to figure out how the translation is done. Yes? So you translate na'ib al-fa'il first, which is from here to here. And then you break that down. Do you understand? So if fa'il is that to which, if fa'il is that to which, if fa'il tam, we don't translate tam because is this a terminology in Arabic. So it is that to which if fa'il tam whose fa'il is known, meaning if fa'il ma'lum fa'iluhu, not if fa'il majhul fa'iluhu. So is that to which if fa'il tam whose fa'il is known, or is either if fa'il tam whose fa'il is known, or to which something, or a noun which is the meaning of al-fa'lu tam al-ma'lum fa'iluhu is attributed. Do you understand how it's in the translation? Does the translation make sense, everybody? How we translated it? Yes? Okay. Okay. Yes? Nahwu yuhriqul hasadul ajra. So now what do we have here? Ahraqa yuhriqu is to burn. So jealousy burns reward, burns up reward. When you're jealous, and as a result of that, all your good deeds get burnt up. Now, what do we have here? Al-hasadu. Al-hasadu is nusiba fa'lu tam al-ma'lumu fa'iluhu. This is al-fa'lu tam and its fa'il is ma'lum. And this is attributed to this. Okay? So this is going to be called the fa'il. Or kullu hasudin muhriqun hasaduhu ajrahu. How do you translate this again? We have here now, look. Kullu hasudin is a mubtada. This becomes a khabar. We have mubtada'un and we have khabarun. Correct? We have the mubtada and we have the khabar. When you have the mubtada and we have the khabar is a jumla. So what do you have to do? We have to look for the pronoun in the khabar which is linked to the mubtada. And then we merge them together in the translation. You move this word kullu hasudin over to hasaduhu. Yes? So how we translate this? Tell me how to translate this. And now so this is going to move over here. And then muhrikun is what's muhrikun? What's here guys muhrikun? Ismul fa'il. And then this is the fa'il of the ismul fa'il. And this is the maf'ulun bihi of the ismul fa'il. So you translate it as the fa'il, you translate it as what normal? Translate the subject first, then the verb and the object. So what do you say here? How do you translate it? Tell me. Yeah, so the jealousy, that's not spelled right. Jealousy of every jealous person. Why we do that? Because we move this over into here. This is the fa'il now. Translate this first. And we replace that pronoun with this. So the jealousy of every, and who is referred to kullu husud. So the jealousy of every jealous person will burn, muhrikun will burn his what? Reward. That's a translation. And in terms of the i'rab, we have here hasaduhu is the fa'il of what? Muhrikun. Why? Because hasaduhu is linked to ma fi ma'nahu, is linked to something which is in the meaning of al-fa'lu tam al-ma'lumu fa'iluhu. And ismul fa'il is not a fa'lu tam al-ma'lumu fa'iluhu, but has the meaning of ismul fa'il tam al-ma'lumu fa'iluhu. The muhriqun ismul fa'il is a fa'il mudari. If you were to replace it, you want to get the exact same meaning, but a very similar meaning. Kullu hasudin yuhriqu. You could bring that in and it wouldn't be true, it wouldn't change, it wouldn't be wrong, it would be right. So this is the meaning of yuhriqu. So bima'nahu. So anything attributed to fa'lul ma'lum, fa'lu tam al-ma'lum fa'iluhu, or anything attributed to something in the meaning of al-fa'lu tam al-ma'lum fa'iluhu is called a fa'il. There's also a few other things we can add in this definition to make it more comprehensive or more mani', but for now we'll just leave this for now. Does everybody understand the definition of al-fa'il? Go ahead with the question. Now we have a few rules here. Mas'ala. Al-aslu fil fa'ili an yaliya amilahu. Al-aslu, the default, the general rule, the usual rule, regarding the fa'il, the mubtada. So the general rule or the normal rule, the standard rule, the normal practice regarding the fa'il is an yaliya amilahu. Wala yali is to follow. So normally the fa'il comes immediately after its amil. Normally what happens? You have the amil, then you have the fa'il. وَقَدْ يَتَأَخَّرُ عَنِ الْمَأْمُولِ بِهِ وَغَيْرِهِ. قَدْ on a فعل مضارع, it gives the meaning of sometimes. And sometimes يتأخر, the fa'il, if referring back here, the fa'il is delayed or is brought after or comes after, because it comes after. comes after. It's delayed, meaning it comes after the maf'ul bihi wa ghayri, even after other things as well. So you can have what first? Normally it's fa'al or the ma fi ma'na al-fa'al, like the ism al-fa'il, etc. Then the fa'il and the maf'ul bihi and all the mansubat. But you can delay the fa'il as well. For example, you can have here yuhriqul ajra al-hasadu. The fa'il is coming after the maf'ulun bihi. This is also allowed. It's also permissible. In the previous example, the hasadu came first and the ajra came second. That's the asal, the default, the normal, the standard. And here the maf'ul bihi is coming first. Fahimtum? Yes? Na'ibul fa'il. What's the next marfu' in jumla fi'liya? The na'ibul fa'il. So huwa ما نسب إليه الفعل التام المجهول فاعله أو ما بمعناه. In نائب الفاعل, we already done this already in Nahw book and we already explained it in Sughra, but the transition is here. So it is that towards which a fa'il tam whose fa'il is unknown, or to either which, or to something in the meaning of al-fa'lu tam al-majhulu fa'iluhu is attributed. This is called a na'ib al-fa'il. The same transition as the previous one. I'm not going to explain it here now. Okay? غُفِرَ ذَنْبُ التَّائِبِ. So here we have a fa'lu tam al-majhulu fa'iluhu, and this noun is attributed to this. This is called a na'ib al-fa'il. كُلُّ تَائِبٍ مَغْفُورٌ ذَنْبُهُ. You get this over here. You merge the transition with the pronoun. The sin of every repenter is forgiven. The dhanbu is a na'ib al-fa'il because it is a noun and is attributed to ma fi ma'na. It is in the meaning of al-fa'lu tam al-majhulu fa'iluhu. That's maf'ul. So therefore, the dhanbuhu becomes the na'ib al-fa'il of the maghfurun. Understood? Everybody following? Yes? Any question regarding this? Yes? Okay, let's go to some i'rab. Very simple i'rab in here. So kullu hasudin mudaf and yad mudaf ilay. But in muhrikun, you say muhrikun is a khabar. Hasaduhu, hasad is fa'il of muhriq. So now mubtada, let's go mubtada, mudafun ilayhi, mudafun ilay, and then muhrikun becomes what? The khabar, marfu'un bi dhamma. Then hasaduhu, hasad is fa'il of muhriq, marfu'un bi dhamma. And ajra, I forgot the word ajra. No, hasaduhu, yeah, hasaduhu, who is mudafun ilay, majrurun mahalla mabni al-dhamm. Very simple. Ajra become maf'ul bihi of muhriq, mansub bil fatha. All we remember to do here is we add the word muhriq because it's not the normal standard verb. To avoid any confusion, we put in what is a fa'il of. If it's a fa'il of the verb, we don't mention it as a default. If it's a fa'il of a shibul fa'il or a ma'na al-fa'il, then we add it in to clarify. And then the ha in here is mudafun ilay. So basically it's very simple. All we have to say here is that this is the khabar, but it becomes the ismul fa'il. And then this becomes the fa'il of that, this becomes the maf'ul bihi of that. Does everyone understand the i'rab of this? Okay. And the same will happen in kullu ta'ibin tawbatu maqbulun tawbatuhu is become the fa'il majhul, ism maf'ul, and that become na'ib al-fa'il. Does everybody understand? Any questions regarding this? Okay, let's stop here inshallah. Subhanallah wa bihamdihi subhanakallahumma wa bihamdika wa nashhadu an la ilaha illa anta wa nastaghfiruka wa natubu ilayk.